CD versus vinyl. Hey everybody, this is TJR with another edition of CD versus vinyl, or vinyl versus CD. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you, welcome aboard. And if this is not your first time, welcome back. As always, if you like the videos I do here, be sure to click like so that the YouTube algorithm recognizes this channel and recommends these videos. Also, let the video play till the very end. This also helps the YouTube algorithm to recognize this channel. Today, we're going to be looking at Boston's debut album. And it's an album that the Too Many Records channel once described as almost their greatest hits album, which I can understand that. When you look at the songs on this album, More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Foreplay Long Time, Rock and Roll Band, Smokin', so many of these tracks, almost the entire album, in fact, have become classic rock staples. You hear them all the time. But today, for this particular CD versus vinyl, we're going to be comparing a modern pressing of the album to the most recent remastering of the album. Now, this is my CD version, which I owned prior to this album. And this is the most recent remaster. It was done by Tom Schultz. Let's just take a quick look at this here. So one thing interesting about this particular version is when you flip over to the back cover, you actually have an extension of the original cover artwork, different from, say, the vinyl record where, of course, on the back you had the band photo, and of course you had this essay about the band that was written for its debut. Another couple things that are interesting, of course, this being a remaster, an anniversary release, we have a little introduction first here by Tom Schultz right at the beginning. We also have an extended booklet. In fact, we have a booklet, which was never, of course, included in the original here, that gives us two essays, actually. The first, How to Make Extra Money Working at Home in Your Own Basement by Tom Schultz, which is his recounting about the recording of the album. Then we have a second essay, Boston, Better Music Through Science, or The Biggest Basement Tapes Ever Made, a fan's note by David Wild. Here we have another essay that also includes photos about the band, about the album, just a lot of good biographical information. And then we also have extended liner notes too, regarding who played what, when, and where. So a nice package, I thought. I kind of thought that maybe they could have done a little more with the actual CD labeling as opposed to just this yellow label. But hey, nice package overall. I'm just nitpicking at this point now. But yeah, really nice. I've had this for a long time and always have enjoyed listening to it. But since beginning my vinyl journey some years back, I kind of thought, what does it sound like on vinyl? Will I actually notice any real difference? So again, let me make it clear that this is a modern pressing. I've owned this CD version for many years, but this vinyl version I've only owned less than a year. I decided, okay, let's give this a listen and just see. Couple things real quick before we talk about it. They put this in a plain paper sleeve. So I had to put it in an anti-static sleeve. But I keep it there just for the sake of it. They also, on this one, replicated, whoa, closest I've ever come to an accident on this show. They also replicated the original orange Epic label sleeve. Later, of course, that would change to there was a different logo they used. It was blue, I think, if I remember correctly. At any rate, though, nice that they kind of give a nod to history. It also came with a download card. I always think that's great to do. Otherwise, though, this is just trying to be a perfect replica of what the album looked like. But no doubt in my mind that it's taken from the same mastering as this CD. Now, of course, I know that from speaking to engineers that the mastering for an album, even with the same master tape, same master recording, the mastering for an LP is very different from the mastering for a CD. So I wondered if there would be any differences. And after comparing them back and forth, A being the same track back and forth, and doing this a couple times, I came across the conclusion that there is no difference. Once I equalized the volume on each one, the CD player, the phono record, and once I got the volumes at the same level, and with my remote control started A-Bing back and forth, playing the same song simultaneously, going back and forth, and just between the CD and the vinyl record, I could not hear any difference. Sometimes, there are noticeable differences, one favoring over the other, but this time it was completely the same. And, basically it's going to come down to which format you prefer. Whether you find it more fun to have the record or you prefer the practicality of the CD. As for myself, I will have to say that I prefer the practicality of the CD because it's less likely to become damaged than the vinyl record. I take good care of records, don't get me wrong, but this is just going to last longer, last better. It's not going to wear down the way a vinyl record will. But actually, I need to take that back. I really do, because I've always kind of been raised to think that vinyl records, they wear down. But lately, I'm starting to realize that's not true. I mean, I have been buying vintage vinyl records, and these records show a lot of wear. And I put them on, maybe a little snap and crackle at the beginning, but otherwise, I've bought old vinyl records that sound just amazing, amazingly great. Sometimes better than the CD counterpart that I have, sometimes not. But they still sound great. So, I don't know how much you have to really play these before they really start to get worn down, especially if you're playing them on a good turntable. And as long as you handle the counterbalance weight, as long as you weigh that correctly and do everything right with the setup, I don't think you have too much to worry about. But for this one here, I've just decided that I'll go with the CD. I'll probably, let this one go on eBay and try to get some of my money back for it. But I am going to, however, be on the hunt for a vintage vinyl copy, a 70s copy. Hopefully a first pressing, at the very least the orange label. I've done a little research, and I understand that if it has the orange label, you want to see if it says mastered at Capitol in the dead wax. There's also the signature of the engineer. And so I'm going to be looking for that. And if I can get one at a good enough price, I will do another one of these where I compare this CD to a vintage copy, and we'll see what we think. By the way, on a side note, recently I did do a track-by-track analysis review of this album. And to my disappointment, it didn't really do all that well as far as numbers. I might just re-release that one again and see if it doesn't get a little bit more love. But in the meantime, I'll put out a link so you can take a look at it. Anyways, that's it for this particular edition of CD versus vinyl. Have you had any similar experiences? Have you compared this album vintage to new, new to new? Let me know what your experience was. As always, if you like what I do here, be sure to click like, click subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a video. If you'd like to give an extra level of support, please consider becoming a patron supporter. Patron supporters receive early access to select videos and exclusive videos that no one else gets. And you get your name in the credits. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.